Previously on Fate and the Fablemaidens. All of a sudden, something strikes the ship and it begins to split apart on the deck as you're standing on it. You look down, and underneath the ship is this massive crack of light and energy. And while it looks like it is a part of the surface beneath you, you also know that it can't physically be the earth cracking apart. And there are these massive tentacles writhing out of it and slowly pulling themselves up.
Guys, look at this. This creature is going to take this ship whether you're on it or not. So let's get out of here. It's beyond us now. But you can build a new one or you can die. So let's go.
Tentacle surfing.
Twyddle, you make an epic jump and start surfing in a little label on the side, which unfortunately you cannot read. Says hunting goods.
I'm going to gingerly, run my fingers on the trap part of this and just kind of go, ooh.
And this kraken goes back into this crack, and the ground seals up over it. And you are also stranded in the middle of this deserty, dry area, arid area. There's danger in the desert, like krakens in the sand, but our adventurers, unfettered, continue on as planned. Their newfound peace, though, may end quite soon as they find themselves lost in a temple of rooms. This is Fate and the Fablemaidens. Congratulations, you've all leveled up. Let's take a just real brief time at the beginning to kind of talk about what you can do. And since I'm not really sure that we talked about what you can do at level 1, if you want to just kind of go over what your character's good at this point in the game, and we'll just kind of do that so our listeners can keep up, especially for Becca, since yours is a little bit weird.
Notable changes. My current hit points are now 17 instead of 10. Because I'm an artificer, and because I'm a gnome, an artificer, gunsmith, and a gnome, I'm proficient in a lot of tool sets. So I'm proficient in tinkers tools, thieves tools, smiths tools, navigators tools, woodcarvers tools, carpentry tools.
Dang.
And I have 4 different weapons I can use, and I'm proficient in all of them. I feel a little bit OP. I don't think I will be, but it feels that way because there's the thunder cannon and the hammer, crossbow, hand axe. But some of the cool things that I get, so I have gnome cunning, which means I have advantage on all intelligent wisdom and charisma saving throws against magic. I have artificer's lore, which gives me history checks on magic items. Instead of using my normal proficiency bonus on that, it's my proficiency bonus times 2. And then because I have a sailor background, I can secure free passage on ships for the party.
Yeah.
Awesome, but we expected to help out on the ship, if that is the case. And so that was at level 1, but then level 2 is when I get something called tool expertise, which means that my proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check I make that, what did I even write? That uses any tool proficiencies from the class. And then I also get a magical item, and I chose the bag of holding.
Ooh,
yeah.
Very handy.
Yeah,
That's
really
awesome.
nice.
I may make you make your bag of holding.
Okay.
Presumably, since that's how you got it. So here's the fun thing about Becca's character that I'm not really sure we've been over, but she is the Artificer class from the Unearthed Arcana that is released, I believe, monthly online by Wizards of the Coast. And so it's playtest material. It's not very well edited at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So when she says she might be a little bit OP, she's not kidding. She might be a little bit overpowered. It may be something I just have to hit her harder with. It may be something where we have to adapt, but I think part of the fun is that in this medium we can try a lot of different things, so I don't have any issue playtesting that material and kind of seeing where that comes from and how it plays out in our world. So that's kind of exciting. Laura, would you like to talk about what Wynni can do?
Yes, I would. So she's a bard, so she can obviously sing, as you have probably gathered. She's lucky because she's a halfling, so whenever I roll a 1, I get to re-roll it once, and then I have to take whatever it is, which is really nice. I'm brave, so I get advantages on saving throws versus frightening, so I'm less likely to be frightened. I'm little, so I can fit on the same square as anyone larger than me. I'm a jack of all trades, so I get a little bit better at all of my skill rolls too. Half my proficiency bonus, which is really nice. And I have Song of Rest now that I'm level 2, which means I can sing beautiful songs of healing whenever we are resting.
Wow.
So you're all welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad we have someone that can heal.
Need that.
Did you talk about your inspiration of the bardic variety?
Like what type of bard?
No, like your bardic inspiration skill.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Say it completely.
Great. It's a bonus action, which means I can do it whenever. Creatures close to me get better at their ability, whatever ability we want it to be, whatever we need,
Wow.
because of my songs.
Yeah, because Laura can help her other party members be better
You mean Wynni?
at life.
Laura's not in our party.
Wynni can make other people better, including me, hopefully. Sam, would you like to talk about Twyddle and what she can do?
Yeah. So I think I've said a lot about Twyddle already, but as far as like her barbarian class goes, I get rages. And at this level 2, I get 2 rages a day, and basically they just give me a +2 on something. My character sheet's over there. I don't look at it. But they're really handy, and I'm excited because next level I get 3, and I will use that. I also have unarmored defense, which is why I don't wear any armor. My AC is based off my dexterity, and so if I wear armor, then that won't be part of it anymore. I also now have reckless attack, which is the first attack on my turn. I get to attack recklessly, so I'm going to add some to my strength and get advantage. And I also now have danger sense, and so I feel like I'm going to go danger, danger.
Hopefully not every time you enter a room, because the working title I have for this next art, which I've gone over and over in my head because I know there's got to be a better title, right? But
Is it there's something in the room?
no, right
It's
now.
called Danger, Danger.
Yeah, right now it's called Danger, Danger.
Forest Ranger.
Right now it's called Temple of Rooms.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
So I just hope that every time you enter a room, according to that title, you don't just go danger, danger, and then yeah.
That's awesome.
I might.
Yeah, we'll see. And we'll see if I come up with something better. But for now, welcome to Arc 2, Temple of Rooms. Let's get going. Oh, wait, side note. This was called to my attention before the game, but also is important and relevant for me today. What languages do you all speak?
Twyddle speaks Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, and Primordial.
Perfect.
Common and Gnomish.
Perfect.
Gnomish.
And that's how they pronounce it
They
too.
do.
Gesundheit.
I speak Wynni speaks Wynni.
You are in this deep. This is just a game.
Is it? It feels real.
So real.
Wynni speaks Common, Halfling, and Draconic.
Ooh, Draconic.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. We left you in a desert.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I found my bear trap.
You did find your bear trap in some crates that had fallen from the Feather Flight, the good ship Feather Flight, as it flew off into the distance after it had gotten hit several times by this land kraken, which has now disappeared. The land kraken is gone. Presumably you didn't kill it, and the ground has closed up over where it was. As you're standing there, you can see the Feather Flight kind of in the distance sink lower and lower from the sky until eventually it crashes. It doesn't make it out of your sight before it does not make it. You don't know how many people ended up making it off the ship, but you hope that more people were able to get away and get off on some of those lifeboats. And you're just left with a lot of debris in this, I guess it's not technically a desert yet, you're more in like a plain type area with shrubberies and some greenery, but not a lot. But it's more dusty than sandy at this point still.
So when the ship went down,
Mm-hmm.
did it like hit the earth and break because of the impact, or was it like when it went down, did it really go down? You know what I'm talking about? Like, how bad was the extent of the damage that we could see?
You can see smoke rising from the ashes, but you didn't see a Death Star-style explosion on the horizon when the ship went down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to where the hole was and just, like, jump up and down a couple of times. Like, just testing how sturdy it is and, like, if it's, like, gonna swallow me whole or something.
Yeah, your feet land on ground.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go to the ship.
Okay. You all recall that the ship was heading towards the capital city and, as far as you know, was not knocked off course. So you can deduce that that direction is towards the capital city of Laurasio. As you head that way, it takes almost an hour to walk over there, and the ship is on fire. Some of the debris has fallen at a distance and seems to be untouched, but it's also not catching fire onto any of the surrounding landscape. There isn't really enough green to burn here, which is beneficial. Otherwise, this might be a much larger problem. But yeah, you have reached the wreckage of the ship.
I want to do, I guess, an investigation check to see if I can tell if there are any survivors that are, like, trapped on the ship.
Okay, you don't see anyone right at the beginning, but if you wanna like try and get closer, I'll let you roll that investigation. There will be some risk involved in that.
Okay. First roll of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a 2?
Oh.
Okay. And you're getting closer to try and investigate?
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
it was a 7. I have a +5 to investigation.
Well, that
Don't
is a
forget
bit
that.
better.
That is better.
Yeah, so that won't be as bad, thankfully. But you do kind of make your way in a little bit, and you find quickly that it's going to be too hot to get much further and closer to the fire, and it's going to be too heavy to lift much of the wreckage. But you don't hear anyone, you don't see anyone at the moment. There could be someone still inside that you can't reach, but other than that, you don't see anyone.
I would like to check the, like, fallen debris that,
Okay.
like, fell out of the ship, you know?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me some investigation on that.
Crit fail.
Okay.
Doing well.
That's a rough 2 first rolls, guys.
I know.
There are some boxes. Twyddle, they're probably made of wood. Wynni, is there anything you're doing?
How far away is the city? Like, can we see it?
No, you cannot see the city right now.
I wanted to... Well, I'll do it in character. Merryweather.
Yeah.
You're good at building things, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything here we can grab quickly to build something to, like, sand surf or, like, fly or go fast?
Can I DM?
This is a very fun question, but right now, you have not found any supplies, and Twyddle is just staring at boxes.
I would like to smash one of the boxes
You
open.
wanna smash one? Okay, go ahead.
Well, that'll be usable.
And roll me strength on that box.
I was gonna smash it with my bear trap. So
Oh, okay.
It'd be a
Attack.
14. Yes.
15?
14.
14. Okay, so this box just kind of explodes into splinters, and you see that inside was a bow and some arrows that are now also splinters.
Okay, let's not do that anymore. I would like to now go open some boxes the normal way.
Okay, that sounds like a great plan.
Yes.
The first box that you approach, you find a net in it.
Okay.
Do you want to keep looking?
Yes.
Ooh, I would like the net.
Okay.
Great.
Sam, if you're going to want that net, you'll probably have to say something to Wynni as she's investigating.
Wynni, net?
Yes, it is.
Hand it over.
Well, let's gather all of our things first.
Net.
Right?
Net.
Yes, it is a net.
I would like the net.
Maybe later.
Dibs. Dibs! I call dibs.
But I'm holding it. I feel
Net.
like that's ultimate dibs.
Wynni.
Oh my gosh. Take the net.
I got a net.
It's very demanding, and you've only known each other for 2 days, so like this is a very interesting little situation you all find
It
yourself
was. I have learned something about my teammate.
I will wrestle you.
Oh my.
That's how we handle things on the mountain.
in. Wynni, do you keep looking?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. So in the
I
next
call
box,
dibs on anything else I find.
Yeah, in the next box you find bottles of water.
Dibs.
I mean, you can hoard all the water for yourself if you'd like. That's fair.
I'm not interested.
We're dying in a desert, please.
Dibs. I called dibs. Sorry, guys.
Most of the bottles are glass and so are broken, but you can salvage about 7 of them that are apparently full and undamaged.
Perfect. I will actually pass those out.
Okay, that's very nice of you. There are 7 because you called dibs. Do you keep 3 for yourself?
In an effort of good faith, I will give the third to Merryweather
Oh,
because Twyddle is not interested.
Not interested.
that's so nice though. The way this is divvied up is really going to just say so much about the 3 of you.
Yes. Question.
Yeah.
Do I have the bag of holding yet, or is that something that's going to be made along the course of?
No, is something that you would have to make at this point. So you do not have
Okay,
it yet.
got it. Okay, cool.
However, are you wanting to look for supplies in regards to that as well as this like land machine you're trying to make?
So what are these boxes made of? Are these boxes actually made of wood?
Yeah, so far you've been looking through some crates that are made of wood. Yes.
Because of Wynni's suggestion. So do you think, what if we make like a land sailing ship?
I deadpan. Wynni deadpans and says, "That's a great idea, Merryweather."
I think we're gonna need some wood for that. I think we're also gonna need probably something to use as a sail, like a big thing of canvas. Do you think there's like is it windy here?
It's pretty windy,
Or is it
yeah. It's like West
Right.
Texas windy.
Because I'm a carpenter and a tinker. So I'll just carpent tinker up a so okay, pause.
You're gonna
I'm just
carpent
interrupting
tinker?
myself.
Did you say carpet
A
tinker?
carpent tinker. Yes. So I'm proficient in water vehicles because of my sailor background, and since I would be trying to fashion this based off of a water vehicle and trying to sail it as if
Yeah, I think that's a legitimate argument. I think that's going to be a legitimate argument. I will say that this ground is going to be hard to sail on at this point because there are some rocks intermittently, but this is something actually go ahead and everyone roll me a history check. Merryweather, because of your past, you're going to have advantage.
12.
12 from
24.
Okay. That is a good
Hope I
thing.
get to re-roll. That was a nat 1.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Okay. So, Wynni, the way you've been raised, you're very familiar with the local environment and some of the places your parents have traveled, but not really familiar with geography in general. Twyddle, you are the same. You know your mountain, and you know your mountain real good, but you don't know all that much beyond that. However, Merryweather,
Yes.
you have been all over this continent and several other continents and some of the, I don't know how many seas this universe has. So 4 seas, 7 seas, however many there are.
I've been on them all.
You've been on them all. And you know that to the north of here, you are about to pass over in the good ship Featherflight before landing in the capital city, is the Durim Desert.
Durim?
Yes, it's spelled Doorim. This is one of those moments when I would have used some audience input, but as we are not quite set up on our social media yet, like we'll be using audience input as the podcast continues for names like that. But thanks to my personal D&D friends for helping brainstorm ideas this afternoon.
I would like to offer up my bedroll if you need a canvas. I don't know if it'll be helpful, but I'll offer it anyway.
Would a bedroll, I feel like this is partially DM discretion. Would a bedroll be too thick to use as a
Yeah, I think
sail?
a bedroll would probably be too thick for a sail.
What if I ripped the stuffing out?
I am okay with that.
Here's the deal. You know that this desert is not that far away from where you are now. It might be about another mile before it starts getting pretty sandy. So once you hit that area, your land ship could come in very handy. Right now might not be the best place to use it, but you know that it has practical sense as you get into that desert.
So if we need to, we can pull it. I could potentially make something to pull it along
Right.
for
Yeah.
a mile, and then
Yeah.
I have some costumes if we don't find anything else.
Yeah. Do you want to keep looking? And Merryweather, are you joining
Yes.
in this search?
yes.
Okay. And are you also going to start salvaging wood from the crates to kind of use?
Yes. I also do
Perfect.
have, just so you know, I don't have nails, but I do have pitons, is that what they're called? Pythons, whatever, and then hammers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So those will come in handy. And yeah, sure, I'll you're a good enough craftsman. I'll let you kind of work with those, what you have.
I'm gonna see Merryweather trying to, like, take the boxes apart and realize, like, I'm not so good at the searching thing. So I'm gonna tell her, Merryweather, I got this. And I'm gonna start ripping the boards off.
Okay.
And putting them in a pile. It's not a neat pile because that's my style. But, you know, I can do this.
So yeah, as you keep searching, and Merryweather, did you say you are looking in some crates now too with this?
Yes.
Good idea. Great. Wynni, the next crate you open has some simple traps in it. Nothing really, just like some snares. There's nothing quite as big as the bear trap, but there are like a few smaller wooden traps, presumably that would help you catch small critters. Additionally, Merryweather, you find a box. It's more like a case, actually. This one isn't like a crate, but you find a case full of some fine clothes. And kind of on top of them is a brooch with a green gem in it.
Ew.
Just to the left of that, actually, too, is kind of another case that's a little bit similar. And inside you find, actually, a stack of sheets.
Perfect.
Wynni, you also find a box full of some rope and some lanterns.
Awesome.
That's it. So what do you do with those finds that you have?
Here, Merryweather. Here's some rope.
Cool. And now you have 150 feet of rope.
That's great. I should say that there are some other boxes in there that you've looked in. Like, you've looked in some of the other crates, but either the things in them are too damaged to reclaim or seem completely impractical to begin with. So you did it wasn't just those 3 boxes that you found stuff in, but those were the three boxes that you found stuff in, you know?
Okay, cool. I don't really care much about any of these clothes or this brooch, so if, Twyddle, you like shiny things, right? If you want one of these things, then you can have it.
I'm gonna take the brooch.
All that Merriweather's gonna do is end up taking the sheets and start putting things together, I suppose.
Okay, great. Now, I know you want to make 2 things. So what is your goal first? I will also say that the dance where the ship started kind of falling apart was in the evening. And so it is getting a little bit late. You are all starting to get a little bit tired.
I think first let's build the whatever would take the shortest amount of time, what we can do before.
Okay, that's probably going to be your bag of holding because the craft is going to be a bigger project, and it may help to have more light for that one. So yeah, I would say the bag of holding.
Cool. Then that's what I'm doing. I guess I would use the fine clothes for that potentially if I need more fabric. There you go. Thanks, DM.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Wynni, Twyddle, how are you feeling about how late it's getting? Because Merryweather's clearly got some projects that her brain is working on.
I'm a little nervous. I don't think I'm an outside sleeper. I think I'm scared of the elements. It's my first adventure.
And it's going terribly wrong.
It is. Guys, where are we gonna sleep?
What do you mean?
Like, there's no, beds.
I'm gonna take my pile of boards that I've made and, line them up and kind of a floor pattern. Just kind of gesture to Wynni and say, you can put your bed here.
What about, like a roof? Like protection?
And toss her some of the sheets.
I'm gonna look around for something a little taller and use the sheets and my net to, fasten, a little canopy thing over it.
I think you can find larger pieces of wood if you pull them off the side of the ship, which is a little ways away from where you're at right now, but you could go get some bigger pieces of wood, bring them back, and kind of make this little canopy for those 4 corners.
I'm gonna do it.
You go get some wood, you stake it into the ground, and create this little nice canopy.
And then I'm gonna just lay my bedroll outside because I prefer the stars.
I don't think I have a bedroll. But also, that does not bother Merryweather, because he also prefers the stars.
Okay, so Wynni gets the fine treatment with this little canopy bed made of wood scraps and sheets.
And as we lay there, I'm gonna just say, guys, thanks for being so great. I think things could have gone a lot worse. I mean, they're pretty bad. But I think out of everyone on that ship I'd want to be stuck with out here, with no way to get out, it'd be y'all. So, thanks.
Are you kidding me? This is a great adventure. We're making things. We're sleeping under the stars. We're becoming friends. That's all you can want in an adventure.
I'm gonna sit up and like punch both of them in the shoulder and smile really big, and then I'm gonna immediately fall asleep, and I probably am a loud snorer. I'm not gonna lie.
It sounds like the ocean.
Hey guys, it's Fate, here to tie up our loose threads this week. We had a great time at LubbockCon and we met a lot of awesome people. If you're listening, hi guys! Hobie Hill from Deep Dungeon Games was one of our great new friends from the event. He donated some incredible woodwork D&D items to the podcast, so we already have some giveaways in the works for the near future. In the meantime, check out his shop. I bet you'll find something you like. We also wanted to give a big shout out of thanks to Carson Heater, who helped us with our cast photo shoot while Becca was here for the weekend, as well as some photos from our lunch party, and we're excited to share those with you soon. Thanks to JP Diavando for writing our theme song, Fate and Fable, and you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Tumblr at FateFablecast, or visit our website at fateandfablecast.com. You can also share posts with us using the hashtag FateFM, and if you have questions or comments, shoot us an email at contact@fateandfablecast.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, so we'd also love for you to rate and review us wherever you listen to this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Keep an eye out for giveaway details, and with those threads tied up, let's get back to the Fablemaidens. Okay, so despite the snores, you all wake up feeling refreshed and back to full health the next morning. Becca, did Merryweather work on that bag of holding before going to sleep, or?
Yeah, I think probably before going to sleep.
Yeah, and because that's something you just automatically get with your class, I'm going to say that that was an automatic success and not make you roll for that.
Thanks. Yeah, I was like, when will I have to start rolling for building this giant contraption?
You're gonna have to roll for building the contraption, but you get the bag of holding as a freebie, because you're a magical tinkerer person.
Indeed, I am.
Carpentinkerer.
Carpentinkerer. Okay, so this is where tool expertise comes in handy.
Yes. All right. So you getting started first thing when you wake up in the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll offer to help.
So I'll help.
Okay.
Cool.
You point me, I can hammer.
I believe it.
All right, so Becca, what skills does Merryweather have that you're wanting to apply here? Let's start with that, and then I'll get you rolling.
Okay, so the only ones that would apply in any way, maybe Tinker's tools. That's more like fine little things, so I don't know how much that would actually apply for this. But carpentry, I'm proficient in carpentry tools, and I also have woodcarver's tools. So if I want to make some fancy little designs on the boat. And then I'm also proficient in water vehicles.
So what I'm going to have you do is, for all of this, add your proficiency bonus twice, which is going to be kind of weird, but it's going to be for your carpenter's tools and then also for like just knowing water vehicles.
Well, that's what I already do for my tool expertise.
Okay, then add it again.
So 3 times or 4 times?
3 times. Nuh-uh. I'm gonna let you be real good at this. I'm not gonna let you be that good at this. No.
Dang it.
And for this first one, this is like the body of the ship, and I'm actually gonna have you roll advantage on this one too because Twyddle's helping you nail stuff in.
Yeah.
With everything, it comes to 22.
Okay, brilliant. So you have this really nice, well-crafted land ship of sorts. It's not very big. It's big enough to kind of seat all of you. It's kind of like the little raft in Moana.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you're working with here. And for the sail specifically, I'm going to have you do some tinker's tools to kind of engineer that. And Wynni, if you're offering help, even just like hold up the sail or whatever, you'll also have advantage on this.
Hold it up the 3 feet I can.
Yeah, we're working on it on the ground.
Okay.
And then we'll put it up.
Yeah, that works.
I can help with height.
Ooh, wait, so do I have advantage on this one?
You do.
Good.
What was that first roll? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, the second one's a 19.
That's much better.
Comes to a total of 25.
You have this really nice crafted thing, and though you you can't practically apply it yet, you get the good sense that it will accomplish exactly what you need it to.
Awesome.
So what are you doing with your day? Are y'all getting started? Like, where are you headed? What's the plan here?
Desert Ho!
Desert Ho.
Desert Ho.
Desert Ho.
Do y'all load up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Twyddle, do you take back your net?
Yeah.
This is a very good lesson for everyone to learn. If you use any of your items anywhere, make sure you have them when you leave, or else you may lose them, and I will not pity you because
That's so sad.
you forgot. So here, I'm reminding you for this session, but oh, I will ask this too, just because, but the fine clothes that you found, Merryweather used some for the bag of holding, but it only took one pair of them to kind of fashion that little bag. So did y'all divvy those up? Are you leaving them? What's kind of the plan with that?
I think it'd be good to bring them in case these clothes like get tattered or torn or something.
Or we need to disguise ourselves.
You never know. Also, there's a good thing now where you have a bag of holding in the party.
Here, put them in here. The bag of holding opening up into the interdimensional pocket space.
Well, now that
inside.
you've made that canon, you're gonna have to do it every time. So, you all kind of load onto this, what are you gonna call this machine, Merryweather? Because I keep calling it like a land ship, and I don't think that's very,
Okay, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds to think. When she's done, she stands there and does like a ta-da thing with her hands. It is a flipper wind glide boat.
Flipper wind glide
Boat of the land and not sky or sea.
of the land and not sky or sea. Got it. Great. The flipper wind glide boat of the land and not sky or sea. Great.
Wait, is it flipper or flicker?
Flipper.
Flipper like the whale?
Yeah.
Flipper. Isn't Flipper a dolphin though?
Yes.
Yep.
We don't have the rights.
Flip dolphins.
No dolphin rights.
No dolphin rights.
Except I fight for the dolphin rights.
Sebastian told me so.
Stand up for the dolphins.
Yeah, for they cannot stand themselves.
All right, so the three of you pile onto the flipper wind glide boat of the land and not sky or sea. Well, actually, I guess you have to drag it a little bit a ways first, but I can skip over that. So y'all make the mile. It doesn't take you that long to make it, actually. You're a little bit slowed down by this machine you're dragging, the flipper wind glide boat. You do start to see that it's getting very, very sandy underfoot. The wind that had kind of died down overnight is picking back up again. But as you hit this sandy land, the flipper wind glide boat suddenly becomes much more useful, and you can all pile in and continue your journey that way.
Yeah.
Let's hop in.
Okay, so
I put down my goggles to protect my eyeballs from the sand.
that is a very good plan. Yeah, because it's so the first couple hours of this trip are not very fun. You can't really talk to each other or hear each other because if you open your mouth, just a bunch of sand gets in there. And like you can feel it on your skin, but it's a great skin scrub. It's your skin is very exfoliated but also kind of rubbed a little bit raw.
About halfway through the trip, I'm going to change into an exact version of Wynni minus the clothes. Because that way I'm not so
wait,
tall.
Okay, wait.
What?
What's the waiting for?
Wynni, what?
I'm gonna change into an exact version of Wynni. Just
but naked.
No.
Why am I naked?
No. Change
When
things.
did you see me naked?
Now, well, I mean, I think naked I probably would look the same, but that's neither here nor there. No, my clothes don't change whenever I change.
Well, that was the logical thing, but the way you said it was...
But not minus the clothes. I want a full exfoliation, is what I'm looking
Full
for.
exfoliation, okay.
That's
Okay.
No, I mean, I turn into an exact copy of Wynni. I said I had to preface that because it sounded like I was doing clothes too, and it's like I don't look exactly like her. Like we're wearing different outfits.
Do your clothes change shape
No.
with you?
No, I
So
am
then
always
they're
wearing the
these
same
big
outfit.
baggy clothes
A little
hanging
bit,
off
yeah.
my body.
But I just want to do it so I'm not as tall, like with all the wind and everything.
So now you're all the same height again, and there are two Wynnies, except one of them is dressed in some rags and furs
And one of them
but
looks a
is
little
still-
uncomfortable.
Is still dressed, so hopefully that helps with Winnie's discomfort. At least she's not as uncomfortable as she would have been.
Yes, that's true. She has no idea.
No idea.
No idea how uncomfortable she
No
could have
idea. Your throat's starting to hurt a little bit. You've been breathing in the sand for a while, and the wind kind of starts to die down. This is after a couple of hours of this pretty miserable traveling. And everyone, go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
been. I got a 20, not natural, but 20.
Still pretty darn good.
6.
9.
Not that great for them, which is good. So Wynni, as you're sitting there, you see kind of through the sand these shadows off in the distance, and you can't really tell exactly what they are, but there's kind of a collection of them, and they look somewhat tent-shaped. It looks like there are some tents set up in the distance there.
Are we able to talk now to each other?
Yeah, there's it's still not comfortable. But the wind has died down and the sand is not blowing enough so that you can kind of speak to each other without getting a mouthful of dirt.
Guys,
Mm.
tense. Tense. She's got her hands above her head, like touching like a tent.
You're feeling tense?
No. No, there are tents. Like shelter.
So Merryweather turns to see the direction that she's pointing, and she takes off her goggles, because I didn't mention it earlier, but her goggles are like prescription type goggles for when she's looking at stuff that's really close up.
Yeah, also
So they're like magnifying.
they're probably a little dirty at this point and smudged, so it might be harder to
Yes.
see with them on, actually.
So no way can she see far away with these things on, so she pulls them off.
Hey,
To
keep that
look.
in mind, because that may affect how your perception checks go in the future, whether your
Yes,
goggles
I just
are
realized
on
that
and
too.
off.
Whether or not I'm
Yeah.
cool.
So are you trying to look again now that your goggles are
Yes,
off? or-
can I re-perceive? Try to
Yeah,
re-perceive.
go ahead
with
and
it.
re-perceive for me.
16.
That's much better. You also see these shadows in the distance. They don't necessarily look like tents to you, but they do look like some sort of structure, and they're not that far away.
Would I have any knowledge, like, because I knew what this desert was? Do I have any knowledge historically of what of like any cities or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna spare you that roll because no.
Do we want to
We should
stop?
stop. We should
Okay.
stop.
I'm gonna pull out my 2 clubs and reach over the side and just like stick them in the sand to kind of slow us down.
Okay, so you bring the Flipperwind glide boat to a stop, and you're still pretty far away from these tents, but you are now stopped in the middle of the desert.
What's the time of day right now?
It's probably just a little bit afternoon.
Okay.
Well, if we could get a little closer.
I am happy to just,
Then let's
you know
start
what?
walking.
Everybody's blaming me. I hop out of the glide boat and start to drag it. Or not drag it. I start to push it.
Okay, yeah, because of how it's built, it glides over the sand still pretty easily. As you're going though, the wind starts to kind of pick back up and the sails lift a little bit more, and it starts to kind of glide on its own as well.
I jump up and tie down the sail.
Ah, okay, that is a very good plan. So you tie down the sail, and that leaves it mostly in Twyddle's hands. As she pushes you forward, and it takes you probably about 30 minutes of this, Twyddle, pushing this boat to get close enough. As you go, these things look more and more like tents. It's a rather large camp. There are at least 5 large tents that are made of like a heavy canvas, and they're set up kind of in a circle. You get closer, and you don't see any people at first. There's a cart, but there aren't any animals to speak of around it. The camp looks pretty well furnished, but it doesn't appear to be peopled.
Well, I'm gonna march in there because, as far as I know, like they should be no problem. They should be nice people.
I roll an investigation check.
Okay. You roll an investigation check, and are you looking for anything in particular?
If there are people / if it's safe.
So, Wynni, you kind of walk into camp, and I'm going to tell you what you notice as you walk by, as compared to what Merryweather notices from afar. Merryweather, you don't hear anything besides the wind, And you don't see anything in particular. It doesn't appear to be dangerous. There doesn't appear to be anything bad. Sam, your danger sense is not like blaring in your head. Twyddle. And Wynni, as you go, you can kind of see into these tents. And it looks like inside are set up some bedrolls, even some tables and desks. And despite the heavy wind, most of it is pretty intact. Like some of the papers that you assume were on the desk have been blown across the room. But other than that, the room itself has some sand in it, but is pretty untouched. And as you walk through, you see a bunch of crates with some excavation tools inside.
Hello? I'm trapped in the desert. Can you help me? Hello?
No one answers. Do you continue to make your way through the camp?
I would like go run up and be looking with her and be like, wow, wow.
Okay. So you run up to join Wynni. Twyddle, what are you doing?
I'm going to change from my Wynni form to my male dwarf form and follow where I saw Wynni go.
Oh, is the boat okay?
Yeah, I'd make sure that it's like within the tent-ole region.
Okay. Do you tie it or like weigh it down with anything?
Is there anything to weigh it down with?
Yeah, there are a couple of crates with heavy tools in them. So if you want to weigh it down with that, and the sail is tied down.
Or if there's like
so.
a tent spike, if I could like tie it off. I don't know.
Presumably there would be a tool that you could use to
like
that.
Anchor it as much as I can, even though it's sand, you know.
Yeah, and it does help that the sail is tied down. So Wynni, you keep going through the camp, and now you have your companions running up behind you to join you. And as you see kind of the largest tent, behind it you see an opening in the sand.
Do I need to roll to see what that could possibly be?
Depends on if you want to approach it or not.
I do, yeah.
If you want to approach it, you don't have to roll. So as you continue towards it, you realize that there is a large staircase made of stone that descends down into the sand.
It's a secret passage.
Wait. I love exploring. I know you know this. We all want to know what's in the secret passage.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's odd that in the middle of the desert where there are no cities, there's suddenly a bunch of empty tents with missing people?
Maybe they're digging in this secret passage because of all the tools.
Makes sense.
Let's grab some tools.
Okay. You want to go back to the boxes and grab some tools?
We might need them.
Cool. So the way I'm going to rule this is that you all now have excavation kits or archaeology kits, however you want to put that. And I'm not going to give you quite specifics at this point, but if you want to use them for something to kind of accomplish as you go into this tunnel, just let me know. Or even, onward. You'll have these forever now.
Cool.
I'm going to itch my beard and then light one of my torches and say, onward staircase.
I also have a lantern. Also, I have a lantern for you, Merryweather.
Thanks.
Staircase ho. Yeah, so you pass out these lanterns and Twyddle holds aloft this torch. The three of you cautiously descend this staircase.